Mexico has extradited 13 people to the United States, including 2 alleged top drug traffickers. U.S. Representative Filemon Vela is now pushing for the extradition of 2 former Mexican officials. CBS 4's Tiffany Huertas joins us live in our studios now with that story. Tiffany.
Eddie, the U.S. Department says this arose from a June meeting between U.S. Attorney General Loretta Lynch and Attorney General Arely Gomez Gonzalez of Mexico, where they agreed to begin a new era of collaboration between the 2 nations to fight international organized crime. 13 people have been extradited back into the United States. Among those was Edgar Valdez Villarreal, who is known as La Barbie.
He was the creator of the narco videos. He used the media as a way of exercising violence.
Associate Professor of Public Affairs and Security Studies at UTRGV, Guadalupe Correa-Cabrera, says the recent extraditions can be linked to Joaquín El Chapo Guzmán's escape.
What the Mexican government is trying to do is to give like the signal that they are, they have goodwill and that they are willing to cooperate with foreign governments, because they were highly criticized because they haven't extradited at that time Joaquín El Chapo Guzmán when he was still in prison, and that's why he escaped.
Also among the group was Jorge Costilla Sanchez, known as El Cos, who was taken to Brownsville. Costilla went before U.S. Magistrate Judge Ronald Morgan, who arraigned him on multiple drug conspiracy and money laundering charges.
If Jorge Eduardo Costilla Sanchez or La Barbie are in the United States, it doesn't make a difference regarding the operations of these organizations.
Costilla was originally indicted at the Brownsville Federal Courthouse in 2000.
The extradition of those 13 people is a good sign with respect to the Mexican government's willingness to send criminals to face justice here at home.
U.S. Representative Filemon Vela says the extraditions reflect the efforts of prosecutors and law enforcement officials across the U.S. Recently, Vela, along with U.S. Representative Michael McCall, sent a joint letter asking for immediate action by the U.S. and Mexico to arrest, extradite, and bring former Tamaulipas governors Tomás Yarrington and Eugenio Hernández to justice.
Governor Yarrington was indicted in federal court here in the United States. A federal judge issued an extradition order, and he's still not here.
The 2 former governors of the Mexican state of Tamaulipas are accused of being key players in criminal enterprises that caused a negative impact on both sides of the U.S.-Mexico border.
The reason it's so important to bring the governors to face their alleged crimes here in the United States is because one of the biggest problems that we see in Mexico is with certain of their officials who really don't implement rule of law.
Correa-Cabrera says by bringing these 2 former governors of the state of Tamaulipas back into the U.S., it will give officials more information about the corruption networks.
We need to focus on how former governments and current authorities that have allowed this situation to worsen and these cartels or drug trafficking organizations to grow.
Money laundering and possession of several narcotics are some of the charges Costilla is facing. A judge set his hearing for October 26. Live in the studio, Tiffany Huertas, CBS 4 News and ValleyCentral.com.